Welcome back to North Okanagan Speed. Today we're working on the Yamaha FZ-07. We're going to do an oil change. We're going to change the battery out because it's flatline dead. We got no gauges, no juice, no nothing. We can't even get this thing started up. We're going to tell you how to change the battery, how to get the seat off for one, because it's kind of a stupid design, and we're going to get some fresh oil in this thing. Why? Because we're going to give it away to one of you guys. So stay tuned. I'll explain more about how this bike is going to be one of yours sooner than later. So stay tuned. Let's get into it.
I need NOS. Neri, I need it by tonight.
So the first thing I did is I headed down to Vernon Motorsports, and the boys there hooked me up with a brand new battery and an oil change kit. It comes with everything you need. It comes with the oil, a filter, new crush washer for the drain plug. Shit, even comes with some rubber gloves to use. So headed down there, got these picked up, got the battery, got it on the charger over here. So it's good to go, it's fully charged now. So let's get this seat off and get this new battery installed so we can fire it up, get the oil warmed up, and then we know that we're gonna get all the oil drained out because it's nice and warm, get it all cleared out of there, get some new stuff in. So the first thing we do to get at the battery, so if you haven't maintained your battery over the winter, it could be like mine and end up flat dead because you didn't even know how to get the battery maintainer onto the battery. Where is the battery even? No access to it whatsoever. There's no charge ports, nowhere to plug it in or charge it. So how you do it is you actually have to bend the seat up and fold over the foam, and hopefully you don't split anything, and get at these two bolts back there. Then you unscrew those and the seat will come off. So they are a 6mm Allen key. So once you got both those loosened up, it's as simple as just popping that off, and then there's a little hook underneath that's holding it. So you gotta make sure you get that hook out from underneath there on the seat. And when you put it back in, make sure that you get that hook lined up, or the front of the seat will be sitting all wonky up here and it won't actually click in. So make sure when you push this down, when you reinstall it, you push it down and you lock it in forward so that it's hooked, and then you do up the two bolts at the back. So now that the seat's off, the next step is you gotta take off these 4mm Allen keys that are holding that bracket that holds the seat down off. So let's get into that, get those off, and then we're going to remove the strap that's holding the battery down, and then that's as simple as removing the negative and the positive wires with just a Phillips head screwdriver. So it doesn't take much. Once you get those cracked, you pretty much just spin them off by hand, loosen them all up, and you just pull that bracket straight off of there. Pretty easy. Set that off to the side. We're not going to need that for a minute. So let's put that off and then get into removing the actual battery now. Alright, so for the battery, just a Phillips head screwdriver. There's a little locking nut built into the bottom of the battery. So you just spin that out until it becomes loose. Same thing with the negative. Spin that battery out, get it loosened up. Get those bolts out, save them for later. These are always handy to have, so keep them around, but the battery does come with some new ones. Now, once the wires are off the battery, down in the front here, just disconnect the rubber that's holding it in place and pull the battery out. Just like that. Swap her out for the new one that's all charged up. And positive goes to the front. Make sure the wires are out of the way, not getting pinched. She's real tight. Just drop her in, just like that. And again, I'm gonna hook up the battery hold down strap. Just goes into the front. Can't really see down there, but there's a little hook right there. So you just stretch it out. Use your fingertips. And hook it on. Once it's hooked on, make sure your wire's out of the way, off to the side, and then hook up your wires into there. Gotta make sure that those little bolt keepers are in there, which I forgot to put in beforehand, so I'll have to grab those. So here's the bolts that it comes with. Get everything tightened and snug back up. There we go. New batteries installed. The rubber boot back over. And we should have some power. Let's double check before we finish the install. Bam, there we go. Ready to go. Look at that, only 3,800 kilometers on this baby. Hardly even broken in. The oil probably doesn't even need to be changed, but it's been a minute, so we will do it anyway so that the new owner can have a fresh, clean oil. Now, we'll reinstall this bracket. Make sure that you don't put it this way. Put it this way so that the hook of the seat hooks into here. All right, we got the 4 bolts, 4mm Allen key, all tightened back up. Now it's just time to reinstall the seat. So again, make sure that that spot there is hooked into that hook there. That's the most important thing. So you just slide it on. Give it a bit of pressure forward. Make sure that that's locked in and that the front of the seat here is nice and tight. Then once you can feel that that's locked, then you go ahead and install these bolts again at the back. Fold these back and tighten that up with your 6mm Allen key. All right, so we got the seat back on, new batteries in, we got lots of power. Turn this thing on. Let's give this thing a cold start. Real cold start, because it's been all winter long. It hasn't been started for, it hasn't been started quite some time. So yeah, let's fire it up. Let this thing warm up for a few minutes, then we'll get on to the oil change. So while we let this warm up, check out the shirt. This is one of the ways you're going to be able to own this bike. We got a whole set of merch coming along. The site's going to drop May 1st. And you can buy a shirt. We got North Okanagan Speed flagship shirts. We got hats, sweaters, hoodies. We got t-shirts galore. We got all sorts of different stuff. I think we got about 40 different designs, at least in the men's department. We also got women's stuff and kids stuff, and then you got your accessories. And each shirt, there's multiple different color designs that you can choose from. Everything's shipped from Canada, printed in Canada, all Canada made. It's all Canadian company, and the winner's guaranteed to be all Canadian. So if you want this bike, head over to shopnos.ca. The link will be in the description. Head down to shopnos.ca and get yourself a shirt and get entered to win. Right now we're doing 5 times entry points for each dollar you spend. So say you buy a $45 shirt, you're gonna be getting 225 entries in to win this draw. Very limited entrance gonna be on our very first draw. So the likelihood of you winning is gonna be a lot greater than our draws that we're doing in the future, say when we give away one of the cars. So get on that website, shopnos.ca again, and pick yourself up some merch and enter to win. All right, now that the bike's all warmed up, got our kit opened up here. It comes with everything you need. It comes with 3 liters of oil, which is pretty sweet. It takes 2.6, and it even comes with an instruction book here that tells you exactly how to do the oil drain, how to do the whole thing, and it even tells you how much for each bike, no matter what you're riding. It comes with all that information. It comes with your oil filter, and it even comes with this little cardboard funnel. So it comes with a funnel, your oil filter, and a new crush washer for the drain plug. It even comes with some nitrile gloves here. So let's get these on, get this oil dumped into the drain pan, spin off this filter, and wait for that to all drain out, put up the new stuff, and dump in that 2.6 liters of fresh oil. Be good to go. Let's take this thing out on one last ride. All right, so I spun the bike around. That way we can easily access the drain plug and the oil filter and get a little bit of light shining in on this side. So I just spun the bike around, But yeah, the drain plug is right at the very, very front here. You can see. So we're just gonna pull that off and drain it. The oil filter is right above it. Just spin that off and let it drain and be good to go. So it's fairly low to the ground. So we're gonna get our low profile drain pan out here. That should fit underneath, no problem. Apparently, it still had some oil in here, but should be enough room. It is a 17 millimeter on the drain plug. So give that a snap off there. Spin it off. Definitely nice and warm now. It's been idling for a minute. And away we go. Look at that, not even too dirty. Still looks pretty damn clean to me. But it's been a while. Do our maintenance. Make sure we're giving the new owner a nice, clean, perfect bike. Let that drain for a minute. And while we're waiting for it to drain, get the new filter on there, get the new crush washer on the bolt here. Put it back together. Got the new crush washer on here, so set that aside. Got the new filter here. Had to lose the gloves, too slippery with covered in oil. As I like to do with any oil change, any oil filter, just get a little bit of oil on your finger. Give the gasket around the oil filter a little lubrication. Just helps it from seizing on to the bike in the future. Then let's just reinstall it. You spin it on clockwise. And just like that. Hand tight. You don't need to crank these things on. Just give it a good snug with your hands. And that should be plenty. Now that the oil's done dripping, put in our new bolt, our new crush washer, spin that in, crank it down, torque that down, and you're gonna wanna torque that to 31 foot-pounds. But yeah, spin off your oil cap and fill her up with 2.6 liters of oil. And there's also a sight glass, right here. Typically it's about, half to 3/4 of the way full is where you want to see that. Let's get some oil in it. Let's try this janky looking cardboard filter that they gave us. Let's see if that even fits. Yeah, in a pinch that would do, but that's pretty janky. Let's use a proper filter cone, or proper filler cone. Nope, that one doesn't work nice either. Let's try this big old bastard. Nope, that don't work either. Well, that's not ideal. Well, the first without the extension on it works the best so far, but it doesn't stay in there. So I'll have to hold it and fill it at the same time. So I'm gonna need 2 hands. But yeah, we'll start with 2.5 liters, and we'll see where that gets us. Now, the oil we're putting in it is the Yamaha 10W40 full synthetic. That is what is recommended for this bike and what comes in the Yamaha kit. All right, we got our 2.5 liters so far put in, and it's nice and full on the sight glass, but the bike is also leaned over this direction. So let's put the cap back on, stand it up, get it started, get some oil into that filter, and see where she reads. If we got to top it up a bit more, then we can do so, but you don't want to overfill it either. So let's just check it out, get her started, and see where she's at. Level, you don't really see it on the sight glass when it's running, and then as you lean her back over a little bit, it starts to show up. So now that's been started, the oil's been cycling, we'll turn it off, see where it sits, and get it up to that at least halfway point. Now with the bike off, oil settled a bit, just about at that halfway point with me holding it nice and level. We're just below the halfway point, so we'll add that extra 100 milliliters just like it says, 2.6 liters, and we should be good to go. Alright, we added that 3/4 of a liter, 100 milliliters more, and now we're at 3/4 of the way up the sight glass, got our cap back on, we should be good to go, looking perfect when she's nice and level. So yeah, got some fresh liquid gold in it, ready to fire it up and head to its new owner. Let's do this. Let's go for one last ride. I'm excited to say that we are ready to launch our shopnos.ca website. We got all sorts of merch on there, hats, toques, hoodies, t-shirts, and we are giving away this Yamaha FZ-07. For every $1 you get 5 times entries. You could win this Yamaha FZ-07 free and clear, and $1,000 cash could be yours. So enter now.